Hey friends, Bill Baker here, and we've got about 6 days left. We have exactly 6 days left until the election on April 6th, and I wanted to reach out to you today on this Wednesday, the day before Holy Thursday and the start of our Easter vigil and Passover, that to say thank you to everybody. You know, it's been a wonderful activity for me. Something that I never in my wildest dreams imagined doing was running for office. And you know, thanks to you and your support, your input for giving me that little bit of a nudge that I needed, I decided to throw my hat into the ring and run for city council in the 2nd district. But I really appreciate everything you do. I also want to thank Bob Yorkish. Bob has been a perfect gentleman, professional, respectful, and I love the campaign that we've ran against each other that, again, has been very respectful. And that's really what it's all about. You know, I do know that I've discovered, I'll tell you, that the hardships, the things that occur when you run for public office, you know, I never would imagine the amount of time that it actually takes or the cost involved with running a race. And so it gave me a new perspective on anybody running for office, and especially for a city council race. But it's been absolutely fantastic, and I've greatly appreciated it. I know it's had an effect on my time, my business, my family, and I want to thank Terry and everybody around me for all the support that you've given me. You know, never did I ever think that I would experience the uglies, I'll call them, and that would come out in a campaign in Sun Prairie. And I've had the personal attacks, I've had the arrows in the back, I've had the nasties, as I'll call them, and then most recently the cyberbullying that has raised its ugly head for no reason at all, no purpose at all. But you know, I'm not going to let that get me down. I'm not going to let it affect my purpose of moving forward. You know, you asked me to do this. I supported the idea, and I'm going to be the best alder person that I possibly can be. And you know how I know that? Is because I'm going to have your support. I'm going to have your wisdom. I'm going to have your knowledge, your thoughts, your ideas, and I'm going to see through your eyes on how we can work together to make this our city. Because this is our city, and I know that we can make a huge difference. You know, the status quo won't work anymore. We've experienced over 2020, this last year, we found out that there are new ways of doing things. And I want us to just take grasp of that and really run forward. That's going to produce new ideas, new thoughts, new areas of concern or things for us to focus on. We're going to see more families working from home. We're going to see different kind of events that are going to occur both virtually and in person. But we're going to have a wonderful opportunity. You know, 2020 has this very negative moniker attached to it, and I get it. The pandemic was the nastiest thing that I've ever experienced in my life. But out of this, I got two things. I have a grandson, my very first grandson, and I am so proud of Crystal and Christopher and how they're raising Liam. No, they didn't name him Pan or Demick, they named him Liam. You know, I met Terry Latimer, and Terry is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me and going to be my future spouse. It's that exciting. I was awarded the Charles D. Ashley Award for my community involvement here in Sun Prairie by Mayor Esser and the City Council, and I am so proud of that. And those things led up to me running for office. You know, I see an opportunity. I see the opportunity by being a part of the City Council to find ways of doing things that's different than the status quo. You know, just because we've been doing something for 30 years the same way doesn't mean that that's the way we should continue doing it. If not, we'd all be driving Model T Fords, black Model T Fords, right? Because that's what Henry Ford produced. Or we would all be using a rotary dial telephone. City government is complicated. I know that. I've learned that. The budget is complicated, but it doesn't mean it has to be. We need to break it up into pieces. We need your input and we need your suggestions to really make this a even better community than it is. You know, I know that this is the greatest city in the world to live. I also know it's the safest city in the world to live. It's the best place to live, raise a family, and for me to have a business. And I've had several located right here in Sun Prairie. We have a great community and one that needs the support for its core services. Now, what are core services? That's our fire department. That's our police department. That's our EMS and public works. We need to make sure that all of those folks have the means, I don't want to use the word support because they always get support, the means to carry through with their job. You know, I started out the campaign talking about crime and the increased rate in shootings, and I threw a percentage out there of 128%, and I was wrong on that number because it was actually 128.5% increase in shootings. And yes, there's 16 of those, but don't you agree that one shooting that takes a life is too many? I think so. And the point I was trying to make with that percentage and what's going on is that we do need to not put our finger in the dike and control the leak, but take it on head on and see what we can do. Is that about adding more police officers? Well, I don't want to do that. I'd like us to have work on what we have, but if that is going to help us reduce the crime, then let's do that. I know it's working with our communities, our neighborhoods, and working closer with the people in our neighborhoods. We need to have the community activities. We have places like Wetmore Park. We have Ashley Field, right? We have the places that are drawing people, but we also have some wonderful communities like Vandenberg Heights, right? West Wind, how about that? Come together as neighborhoods and be closer together. Know your neighbor. And I know that the city can help do this through our recreational department and then also through even tourism, because we can have events there that attract people from all over Wisconsin. You know, affordable housing. I'm a real estate agent. I've been a real estate agent for 15 years. I know what the definition of affordable housing is. And I think that is overused at times. But we hear that people support affordable housing, but they don't have a plan. I have a plan. I've laid this out in my previous broadcast about using things like land leases. And we have to work with our developers. We need to make it easier for our developers to come in, clear the land, get it ready, and then turn it to our builders to build the properties. But we also need to look at the fees that are being charged when you're building a house. And what we're being told by developers and builders is that we are a bit excessive in those fees. And I want to look at that. We need to make it easier right now to build a home and have all the builders want to build a home in Sun Prairie instead of Bristol or Windsor or DeForest or Waunakee. Let's give the developers and builders a reason to come to Sun Prairie and help them build affordable housing and what's also called workforce housing. The apartment buildings, we know right now our apartments are at 96% occupancy. They are full. Now, I know. Some of you right now are saying that you don't want any more apartments. Not in my backyard. And man, I get that. I didn't agree with the Colorado Commons apartment complex. Not because it's apartments, because it was shoved down the throats of the neighborhoods of Colorado over there. And so that wasn't the right thing to do. But I think we can move forward with that and help that neighborhood heal as Gephardt brings in that development. We're going to need other apartments, and we have to have that, folks. If we don't have the workforce housing, we don't have the people that are police officers, our firemen, that are working in our restaurants, that are cooking our food, that are waiting on us at Culver's. We need to have those folks here in Sun Prairie. We don't want to bus them in. We want them to live in our community. Now, why would that be? because we know if they're a part of this community, they will make it stronger. And then from there, we need to help them move into their own home, their own condominium, and help them in the process of becoming ingrained in Sun Prairie. And we know that when that happens, the children that are a part of those families, their grades go up. We know that crime reduces, and these are all studies that are available. So affordable housing is in my crosshairs, and I want to get that in place for you. But I need your vote on April 6th. Now, I know a lot of you have already voted, and I appreciate that because I've had a few hundred little text calls or emails saying that you voted for me, and thank you so much for doing that. You know, I also want to talk a little bit about our businesses that we have out there. We have a very supportive community in the way of our businesses, and we need to do more for them as a city. That doesn't mean that we have to keep throwing money at them, but we need to give them the tools to lift their business up out of this pandemic that we just went through. We need to help them in their communications. Just like I'm trying to communicate with you right now and share with you my ideas, we need to use this type of means using our media center, for goodness sakes. The Sun Prairie Media Center is a vital tool in helping our businesses, working along with the chamber to get the word out about businesses like Faded Roots, about Prairie Flowers, Buck and Honey's, Daly's, Salvatore's. How about Full Mile and the brewery, Wright Bauer, Eddie's? I mean, we've got so many businesses around that could use our help, and Sun Prairie, we can help do that. The other thing I want to say about this, running for office, I understand because of everything that I've gone through, that I understand why you're not running for office. First of all, I can see you thinking that you don't make a difference, and I'm telling you that you do. I want to see people of color running for office, and I also want to see them supported. We need to get the diversity in place if you want change to happen, Sun Prairie, and I'm there to support that. We need good people in place of all walks and means, and when they do run, we need to support them, and I'll be there to lead that charge. Sun Prairie, we can make a difference, and it starts with you and me. It starts by getting me into City Council and letting me work with the other council members that I know I can to really continue. We have to have growth if you want that tax base to drop. If you want your taxes to drop, we need further development. I'm going to work on that. I want to help control the spending. Let's look at it in a more strategic fashion and see what we can do. You know, really what I want to be for you is I want to be the eyes, the ears, the voice that you have expected and asked for over the years as a council person. And if you give me the chance, Sun Prairie, I will make you proud. And let's make everybody else aware of how wonderful our city is. All right? Thanks, Sun Prairie. Don't forget to go to myvote.wisconsin.gov to find out your polling location. If you're in District 2, we're at the Methodist Church, and I will probably see you around there. Until then, Sun Prairie, thank you for your support. Thank you for your prayers, your blessings, and everything that you've done for me. It's been a whirlwind for me and a time I will never forget, and I will make you proud as your city alder. Take care, and God bless. See you soon. Have a great Easter.